Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Money Hungry Mama podcast. I am so excited to have Gina here today from the Household Handy Mom. Gina, take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gina. I launched the Household Handy Mom back in September, October. My reason for launching this was previously I was an executive assistant for 15 years in corporate. I now have a 4-year-old. I got laid off last July, and when it came to going back into the office full time, there was no shot I was doing that, and, having someone watch my son, I couldn't do it. So I started doing this as a side job, helping moms with, just random tasks, laundry, organizing, meal prep, just day-to-day things that I do for my family and my son. And it came to the point where more people were asking me, "What is this? How do I get involved?" And it came to the point where at the end of the year, I got my LLC. I was fully insured. And fast forward to now, we are a team of 8 girls now, 8 moms. And this week, actually, we hit having 20 clients. So it's unbelievable. It's like a very fulfilling job compared to working in corporate. Because as everyone knows, corporate, I couldn't even go to the bathroom at sometimes without getting
Yeah.
permission. So I did a complete 180. And
Oh my gosh. Okay, so many questions, so many questions. So, how did this idea pop into your head? Like, how did this idea come about?
so one of my good friends is a teacher. She sent me a picture of her laundry room, actually. She has 2 kids, and it was just literally covered in laundry. And she was like, "I wish I could just pay someone to come to my house and do my laundry." And I was like, "Wait a minute." And literally from that picture is when I started it as like a side thing. And then all of a sudden it just blew up. And like I said, now I have 8 girls and 20 clients this week, which is insane.
So, all from a friend's picture, you were like, oh, I'll be that person. So, what
Yeah.
are some of the services that you offer?
So we do, I would say our number one is laundry and organizing. There are a ton of organizing companies out there. We do not call ourselves professional organizers. We're just a mom, giving other moms or dads or anyone for that matter, just a helping hand. There's so many people, I feel like their day to day, they work and then they come home and then they have to like start their second job of getting their life in their house together. And, sometimes people don't have the time. They don't want to spend their downtime doing the laundry, putting it away, organizing meal prep. So this is a service that has everything all in one, whereas you're not hiring, multiple people to do other things. You're having a mom come to your house and do any task that you need. And I feel like as moms, we are just born to have this, multitask
Yeah.
personality where we could get everything done so quickly because we have no other choice.
Yeah. No, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the I love this so much that it was just like, "Okay, I'm just going to come and help these moms do laundry." So what does meal prep consist of when you're saying that you help meal prep?
So it depends on the family. I have a client who I've been working for since I started this every Tuesday. Actually, she's on vacation today, so that's how I'm able to be off today. But she has me cook the same thing every week. Her and her husband are very into clean eating. So what I do basically is I cook a ton of chicken, a ton of ground beef. I do a bunch of vegetables. And now that it's nice out, I actually bring it outside and I cook it on their grill for them. So it's even nicer. I'm not stuck inside all day. I'm outside in their beautiful backyard just cooking for them. And it's unbelievable that like people pay me to do this because I love it. It's so relaxing to me.
That is so cool. You literally are like the handy mom. Like you thinking of
Yeah.
all the jobs that moms do in a day and you're like, "Here, I'm going to help you do these things."
Right.
That
And
is
then in the middle of, me cooking for her, like her doorbell will ring and like a package will come and I'll bring it inside for her. She needs like her dog to be fed or let out. So like I'll help her with that. It's just like I feel like I'm like part of people's families, and I'm just helping them in so many ways because people work full time, they don't have time sometimes to just step away and do these little tasks that may seem silly, but it takes up a lot for people to do that.
awesome. Now, I know it's geared towards moms, but have there been dads hiring you guys for different
Oh,
jobs
yeah.
too?
Absolutely. So not everyone is a mom or a dad. We've had people who just need help, because they're just working full time and they don't have the time. So even though it is called the household handy mom, I called it that because we are a team of moms, but we help anyone in need. It doesn't have you don't have to be a parent, you don't have to be all ages and whatever. So, yeah.
That is so I'm so, like, intrigued by this because I feel like you created a business where I've said it multiple times, like, "Oh, man, I wish I could pay somebody to do this," and you're literally doing whatever the task may be that, you hope that somebody would do. That is really cool. Okay,
And
so
another thing about the business is,
yeah,
although we are helping people, I'm also helping moms make an income who maybe can't work
100%.
full time, because I started this because I wanted to be with my son. I have a 4-year-old. He's our only son. We're not having any more kids. So he's very, like, his time is precious to me. So I don't want to lose out on it, especially now that he's so young. I want to be dropping him off at school. I want to be picking him up. I want to make all those fun activities for him. So I feel like this also gives another output for other moms who may need a break and they may need to get out of their house, and they also can make, a little bit of income. I do pay my girls very well. It's not like they're making,
Yeah.
nothing. They make a good amount of money. So it's nice that I'm also able to help them, you know, get their little break while making income and doing things that, they're used to doing every day too.
I love that. Yeah, like, giving this opportunity for moms to have jobs, which is just it's so needed. I mean, there isn't one person I talk to that's not like, "Oh, I wish I could be home with my kids. I wish I had more time with my kids." And it's like you're giving providing that service, which could absolutely do that. I love it so much. Okay, what is one story that stands out to you where hands-on help literally gave family their time back?
So I would say, I mean, I've had the same clients since I started this, me personally. Now that I've hired other girls, moms to help me, I just feel like I've created such a great relationship with all these moms, and for them to text me over the weekend and say, I'm out with my kids, knowing that my laundry is done. You have made me like feel so much calmer. And like hearing those text messages, I get those every week, and that is something I've never ever felt or received working in corporate.
Yeah.
And the fact that like I created this for all of these moms, it's really fulfilling, and I still can't believe it. I can't believe that like I get paid to do this, and I'm also helping people at the same time.
Oh
And it's
my god.
hard for moms. People, I mean, yes, people have family. I personally, my in laws are great. They live in Jersey, but my family, my parents, they live in Florida. So I don't have, that double sided support. I mean, my son is 4 now. So obviously it's a little easier, but it's still nice, to have that village that to help you. And some
Yeah,
people
100%.
don't have that. So it's nice to be able to be part of people's villages and, have their families feel a sense of calm and like less anxious over the weekend, and then they have time to do things with their family. Really is what
For
the most
sure.
important thing is.
For sure, for sure. I actually saw this business like this past week on TikTok, and it's basically the mom is like a brand new mom, like a newborn mom, and somebody will come over and sit with the newborn so the mom can shower
Yeah,
and just like sleep for a little bit. And I'm like, wow,
right.
like, you never think of these things. Like you think it in your head when you're going through it, and you're like, man, I wish I could shower.
Yeah.
And now there's these like businesses that are popping up that are like doing the dang thing. And I love that so much. I think it's so cool.
I think
So
us as millennials, we are very smart when it comes to, handling our time management, like DoorDash, for instance. You could just call someone to come deliver your food. Like that wasn't a
right.
thing back in the day. But think about like all the moms now who grocery shop that way. It's just like such a different way of life, I feel like, compared to what it was back in the day.
Yeah, we're just like, "You know what? We need to make our time easier." Our
Right.
parents are always, like, out or working or whatever, and it's like, "No, we don't wanna do that."
Work
No, it's so
smarter,
cool.
not harder.
Yeah, so true. So your team is fully insured and experienced. What does it take to recruit and train the women for this kind of work?
So I would say up until this point, all the girls on my team I know. If it's not directly like a friend of mine, I know them through someone. We're just starting to get to the point where we're going outside of that zone a little bit, and I'm hiring people that I don't know, but connected with on Facebook. So like they're in the town. And really it's just a simple process. I meet with whoever I'm gonna bring on board for coffee. Just a very, relaxing conversation over coffee, and I see if it's a good vibe for me and the mom, and that's
Yeah.
basically it.
So it's so chill. Spoken also like a true millennial, like, we just go for coffee, and then we
That's
just
it.
decide if we're, like, a
I
good
mean,
match
I'm
or
not
not.
gonna have someone meet me in a business suit, for to be able to do someone's laundry. I just have to make sure, they understand what the business is and if I vibe with them. As easy as it sounds.
So are you always expanding? Like, so for anybody that's in this Monmouth County, are you always expanding your business to bring on people?
So it depends on obviously the clientele and how much we get. I can say from the start of this, we have increased our profit every single month since starting. My goal is to get into the Jersey City, Hoboken area within the next couple of months because I just feel like that is a huge process, like a huge industry up there for all moms. The only issue is I'm running into is like a lot of moms up in Hoboken, they work. So it's kind of different. They're not like I can't find someone to work for me is what I mean. The
Yeah.
clients are there. It's more so finding someone to work for me.
Yeah, that's up there.
Yeah, but so far in Monmouth County, I've been having to hire a new person every few months. Because not everyone on my team works, like, full-time like me.
Yeah.
They just have which you don't have to be able to like, you don't have to work full-time to work for me, it's just whenever works for you. Like, if there's 2 days out of the week that, like, you wanna work, then I'll give you those clients who only need like, those days. So it's not like everyone's out in the field every single day working all day, that's totally not how it is. So, our services are either 2 or 4 hours. So the girls either work like 2 back-to-back 2 hours or a 4 hour. It's not like something obviously they're doing all day because, they want the time with their children as well.
For sure. For sure. Very cool. Okay, so anybody listening that's in like the Hoboken, Jersey City area, that's a mom that doesn't have anything, reach out
Yes,
because it
reach out.
seems like there's a market for there. So reach out. Love it. So how do you handle the logistics of like scheduling, communication, who's getting who?
So, right now I'm doing everything myself. I'm sure, as you know, as a small business owner, we just wear all the hats and do everything ourselves. So because I was an executive assistant, my calendar skills are pretty top notch. So I have a very good system down right now. I'll always base it off where my girls are living. I don't want anyone driving more than 30 minutes away from their house, just because then it's really not worth it for them. For like a 2 hour job, it's silly for them to be driving 40 minutes north or south, whatever. So I'll look at their location and then I'll go about it based off where the client is. And then if I can't get anyone to a certain location, I'll always ask the girls, do you want to travel this part of Jersey, whatever? And like it's really up to them if they want it. Depending on the zone, if it's outside of Monmouth and Ocean County, we charge a travel fee, and then my girls will get obviously the travel fee because they're the ones traveling. So it really just depends. But the scheduling it's pretty simple. It's a 2 or a 4 hour job, so it's not. It really just we work around the client's needs, and obviously we work during the morning because that's when our kids are either at school or at camp.
Hmm. Yeah, it's totally mom friendly all around, which
Yeah.
is incredible because then a mom coming home from work has everything done and it looks nice when they walk in the door. So, yeah, it's really amazing. I love it so much. Now, when now that you're like scaling, have encountered any of these like any problems as you're scaling? Has there been like a hiccup with anything?
I did have 2 clients so far to date in the last, what are we at, 7 months who did not pay me. And
Mm,
who they basically were looking for a free service and said, like, my girls didn't do a good job. So I didn't want to start this at first taking deposit from people just because I feel like as a mom, like sometimes when you hear deposit, you're like, oh no, like I'm locked in, and I didn't want moms to feel like this was more stress added to their plate. So I didn't charge a deposit when we first launched, but I just started doing it recently just because of the people who, are looking to abuse the system and not,
yeah.
trying to get the best out of it, I had to start taking a deposit from them because, it's not fair. There's so many families out there who, are on a wait list for my girls to come to their house. If one is canceling last minute and they just don't care about the service, then I have someone who's not working. And then, I have another family who we told no because someone canceled. So I just implemented a $25 deposit to hold the date. And obviously, within reason, if someone is sick, if God forbid there's a medical emergency, I'm not going to take the deposit from them. It'll just roll over to the next service. But it's really starting, I think, to, get away from the people who are just like "Oh, I'll just book it and cancel." Like, no, that's not what I'm about.
Yeah.
If you could give a deposit for your hair, your nails, and all these other services, it's the same thing. We're a business. It's not just like we're sitting here, waiting for, you to call us. We're a full working business with 8 girls who, like I said, we had 20 clients this week. So we're booming.
Yeah, and I think that needs to be taken account for anybody listening, right? Like, it's not just this business, there unfortunately are gonna be times where somebody's gonna want something for free or, you are gonna run into that, especially with a client-facing business, and I think, through the past episodes, we're learning different ways to try to cover ourselves, and I think this
Mhm.
is a great one, like, making sure that you have a deposit on anything that's face-to-face going to, whatever, some sort of deposit to lock it in, because it's true, like, I always, like, make the joke, like, human beings are selfish, but, they kinda are. So
Yeah.
if it's not their time and money, it's like, "Oh, well, I could just cancel. I actually don't want them to come this week."
Right.
And they're not thinking about the mom that's losing the money or the
Right.
business that set aside the time. So, I think putting in a deposit is a great way to try to ensure, "Okay, I'm finding the right clients as well,"
Mhm.
because they're respecting my time knowing that they have a little bit of money on the line there.
Right. Also, when I first started, I'm a nice person, I feel bad for
Yeah.
people, but there's people who lie about crazy things out there. You can't trust people. Just because I personally would never do that,
Mhm.
there doesn't mean that there's people out there who are not going to do it.
I know.
So,
It's so sad. It
it
makes
is
my
so
heart hurt
sad. What
so
is
bad.
happening to us as a society?
I
I'm just a
know.
mom trying to help other moms.
It makes my heart so sad to, like, hear those situations because it does, and I always try to give the benefit of the doubt that, like, maybe they're struggling so hard that they need to be this way, but, I that's just, I just hope the best
You
for
never
everybody,
know.
even if it's like
I know.
so, okay, so you built this brand. You started in September, October 2024?
Yes. What are we at? 25? Yes,
Wow.
24.
Wow, okay.
Went to Aruba with my husband for our 5-year anniversary, and I
Love
was
that.
thinking about it the entire time, came back and had clients and just started going.
I feel like it's always, like, on a vacation when your mind's supposed to be at rest that you're like, "No, I'm gonna
I
start
know, I was
this.
like, "Well,
This
what
is
if I
gonna be
do this? What
efficient."
if I do this?"
Yeah, no, it's literally the entrepreneur mindset. It happens all the time. So now you started this business, right? You said that you already had clients. How did you get your first couple clients?
So, to this day, I've only paid for 1 marketing thing,
Wow.
but I do all of my posts in Facebook local mom groups. And I'm originally from Marlboro, and there is this group called Bad Moms of Marlboro. And every Monday, because, they all have rules. So every Monday, you're allowed to post your business. So every Monday for the last 6 months, I posted in that group with, at first I didn't have like pictures of me and my girls professionally done. I just had a
Mhm.
picture of me that like my husband took outside of on my driveway. And I posted that and I used that as like my promo thing with all of my services. And that was it. The biggest thing I think for me was at the time that I launched October and then like the holidays started coming around. So a lot of my clients were having me do wrapping for them.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah. So I actually went to this woman's house in Marlboro. She left me her credit card, sweetest woman ever, and she said, "I own a business. I need to wrap all of these presents." She showed me. They were all out, like lined on her dining room table. She's like, "I need you to wrap them all, make them pretty. I don't care what you spend. Go to Hobby Lobby and have a great time." And I was like, "This is amazing." Like I was just like walking through Hobby Lobby with my coffee, buying all this like beautiful wrapping paper with no spending limit, and it was just so much fun to me. I had Christmas
Wow.
music on in her house, the tree was lit, it was a good time.
Oh my that has to be I didn't like, you think about those things. I am the type of person that physically hates wrapping. I don't do it right. Like, I don't cut it. I don't make it look good. Anyway, I would absolutely pay for a service for somebody to come and wrap my
Yeah.
presents for me. That's amazing.
They do have a lot of services like that now. I see, like, people charge, like, per I guess, per gift or something, but, yeah, it was awesome.
That is
I must have
so
wrapped at least over 30 gifts. And, like, not just, like, wrapped, I mean, like, wrapped with ribbon and then, like, Merry Christmas labels, like, everything. It was
wow.
awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, no, especially because she gave you no limit on the credit card. That's cool too.
Yeah, not that I went crazy, but, like, the silly stuff that, like, I wouldn't buy, like a $2 bow. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna buy this.
Yeah. Yeah, it was gonna make it look nice. I
I'm just
love
gonna make it
it.
look nice."
Okay, so with marketing, you said you only paid for one promotion and then the rest have just been the Facebook group. Are you utilizing any other platform?
So I just started doing, like, a newsletter. I have my
Okay.
own website, it's nothing fancy. Instagram is my biggest, I think, marketing tool, I have a Facebook, I don't really post on it often, but I would say the number one platform is Instagram
So you
for
know
now.
that if it's a Facebook page that you can link your Instagram to your Facebook. So whenever you post to Instagram, it'll automatically go to
Yeah,
Facebook. Okay, good.
I started
Yeah,
doing that.
good, good. Because honestly, I don't know why, but Facebook, I get paid from, even though I'm posting to Instagram. So I'm like, that's nice.
Yeah.
Just a little extra dinero for that is good. Okay, so now you have Instagram. We have the website. What did you use to build your website? I use Wix.
It's
Oh, okay,
Squarespace.
okay, I've heard of that one too. And people can pay you right on your website.
No. So right now I take Venmo and Zelle. I think within the next couple of months we will be transitioning to Square completely. Like booking on Square, payments on Square, just because I'm doing, like, a lot of people don't see obviously the background that you do, but I have a spreadsheet on my computer that I made. Actually, my husband helped me make, that shows every single client I have had since I started, what their service was, how many hours they wanted, which one of my girls went to their team, how they paid me. So, like, I'm doing that all manually. So I think if once transition to Square, it'll be automatic.
Yeah.
So that's just like extra side work that I'm making it harder for myself for no reason. But Square is, you have to pay them like a premium monthly. And right now, my fees are my insurance, and my girls are also covered for workers' comp, God forbid, of anything.
Oh, that's good.
So all the extra money that I'm making, it's really going to other things. I'm not really
Mhm.
like making it. People are like, "Oh, you must be making so much." I'm like, "No, I'm not a millionaire. I do this because I like it. I am not doing it for like the money part. Yes, the money is nice that this is my income and I could still be with my son, but there's bills involved and I don't think people
Yeah.
realize that."
I really honestly don't. I feel like especially when I see all of like, the things where a business is blowing up on TikTok and then there's a million comments. I don't think if you're a true business, I don't think people realize exactly all the things that go into a true
Right.
business. All the hidden bills that you're like, well, I'm working at a home. It's not going to be like I have to do rent. No, there's a lot of other things that go
Yeah.
into businesses. Yeah, thanks for bringing that to light too, because it's so true. And I think, you definitely always want to do your research on what you need to pay for each month before you even start this idea or a business, because then it's like, okay, this is what I have to put aside to make sure I'm staying afloat.
Right. And even Venmo, like if people, so I always tell my clients if they have Zelle, I'd prefer that because Zelle, there's no fee. Venmo takes a fee off of every transaction that
Yeah.
I make, which it's so minuscule, but it adds up. Like, what are we at? We're at July. I think I'm already at like $600 of fees just from Venmo, which is so silly to me. Like and that's a lot for a small business owner.
It
It's not like
is.
we have like a ton of like, money just coming in where it's just like, oh, $600, that's a lot of money.
No, 100%, 100%. It is. That's like another thing too. But I use Square for my books, and I will say like, it does do exactly what you're saying. It does track everything,
And
and
it's
it
worth
makes it
it.
nice and neat, and it does kind of
Yeah.
just you could breathe, and you're like,
I
okay,
think we're gonna be on that platform in a couple of months.
yeah. It really is a good platform for that.
Yeah.
So you often have a lot of like really mom friendly reels. What is your content strategy as you're posting?
So it's so funny. One of my good friends, she's in PR and she's been like coaching me through this like whole process. And she's like, you got to like do this, you got to do that. I'm like, why are there so many rules? And honestly, I don't follow anything. I take the content I have from me and my girls, I'll put it into a reel and then like I'll post it. I know there's like certain like strategies, like if you post like in the morning, more people will see it at like different times. But like my brain can't operate like that yet. So I'm just like, whenever I get a chance to sit down and make a reel, I'll post it.
Yeah.
Really what it is.
Spoken like a true mom. Spoken like a true mom that's already handling all the other moms.
Those reels do take up a lot of time
They
sometimes.
do.
Sometimes my husband will be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to create a reel of me cooking my food." I
I'm
wish I
trying
could have someone, like,
about it.
follow me for the day and, like, take videos of everything, but, then again, it's such a huge profit.
That honestly
Yeah, it's not
is,
profit.
but yeah, no, that is, but I will say I did have a makeup on artist on here recently, and that episode will air before this, but she literally hired somebody to come and do a full day of, like, she did makeup for people for free, and it was, like, months worth of content from the one
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So, it might be something that you might wanna do just because then
Eventually,
it's
it's
like
on the list of things.
yeah, no, for sure. So, referrals and word of mouth, how do those play a part with your business?
So, I started doing if one of my clients refers their friend or family member to me, they will get $25 off their service. Just because I feel like referrals nowadays, word of mouth is really what helps a small business. And Instagram, but I think it's important for someone who speaks so highly about my company that they get rewarded with something. So that's something that I implemented not too long ago.
And how's that working?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah?
I've had
Good.
a bunch of people, refer me and then, they get a little reward for them.
Yeah, no, especially if they're gonna continue to use you, it's nice to kind of build that up.
Right. And
So
I also just changed my pricing. We do have a lot of reoccurring clients. So we have clients who hire us once a week. We have clients who hire us twice a week. So I changed my pricing format not too long ago where if you're hiring us weekly, you're on the prices that I've had this whole time. And then if you're just like a one time you need help, I just raised them $20, just not a whole lot, but just for, the back end with the calendar because obviously it's easier to have the weekly clients on our calendar and it's a little harder for us to put the one timers in there if we're all booked with other clients. So that just changed a couple weeks ago as well.
smart, smart. Yeah, it's almost like with daycare. Like if you're gonna stay 5 days, you get a discount versus if you are just doing 1 day a week.
Right.
Yeah, no, very, 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 very smart. I feel like as you're growing, I mean, you haven't even been in business for a year?
No, I
First
haven't
off,
been
let's take that
yeah,
into account that you haven't even been in business for a year, and there was honestly such a need for your business that it is booming to the point of hiring other people, getting 20 weekly clients a week, like, crazy, crazy.
crazy.
How does it
My
make you
friends are
feel?
always like, "Do you understand what you're doing?" And I'm like, "Honestly, no. I think I'm just so wrapped up in the business that, like, I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes. Not actually, but, like, I can't fathom that, like, this is really a thing."
It's crazy. I mean, that has to feel good.
It does. It does feel good. When I
That
stop
is
and think
really
about
good.
it, I'm like, "Oh, wow."
Really booming business from, like, one idea that I had in Aruba, and
Yeah.
here we are.
And you know
That
what?
is aw
The community also, like, there's so many local organizers who I am friendly with on Instagram, and they're all so nice. It doesn't matter that I'm doing a similar, task that they are. They're all just so nice. 95% of them.
yeah, and honestly, that's where it counts, like, we always talk about community on here, and I think it
Yeah,
is so important to make friends with other people even doing the same job as you
definitely.
because you can bounce ideas off each other, and if you're not in the same area, why does it matter?
Right.
Like, if
And I've
somebody's
had them
listening to this
they reached
oh,
out to me and they're like, "I love what you're doing. This is so amazing." And I'm like, coming from someone who has an organizing business, like that is such a compliment that like I can't believe that like they would do that, but it's just so nice.
yeah, and for everybody, like, listening all over the states, if you go and you start a business like this, like, that have the community of, like, Gina here to be like, whatever, and to, like, help each other with ideas and stuff, that I love that stuff, especially, like, I feel like that's gotten me so far in
Yeah.
my entrepreneurship than when I was trying to figure everything out by myself. Okay, so where do you see the household handy mom going? What are new things that are happening? Are you gonna franchise? What are we thinking?
I don't think I'm gonna franchise, but let franchise out, but I've had people reach out to me from other states
Mhm.
asking like to bring the service there and like I mean that would be the goal, to have this in cities where moms need the help. Just for insurance purposes, I'm not there yet because obviously I would need a new insurance policy per state. So I'm not really sure how to go about that yet, but TBD.
TBD. So
TBD.
everybody listening that's in different states and wants to be a part of the household handy mom, just wait it out. You're gonna just wait it out because she's figuring it out.
Figuring it out.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What is one piece of advice of business that you would give away for free today for everybody listening?
I would say just do it, don't listen to anyone else. Because when I first came up with this idea, a few people laughed at me. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go and do it, you know? And now the people who laughed at me are looking at me now and they're like, oh my God. So
Yeah.
don't listen to anyone. Do what you want and just keep posting.
Keep
And as silly as
posting.
you think it is, clearly it isn't because here we are.
Yeah, and it's needed. Like, what I honestly feel like if there's a passion and you find some sort of space in the market where people need help, that is the biggest thing. If you can find a space in the market where people need help, you are going to boom. I
Mhm.
100% stand by that.
Yeah,
I mean, look at you.
it's crazy.
Incredible. Incredible. What does being a money hungry mama mean to you?
I think, yes, the money aspect is nice, like I said before, but really finding something that resonates with you and who you are. And for me, that's helping people and helping moms. As someone who is a mom myself, it's really nice to have that village that a lot of people don't have. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's so true. I feel like it could be in anything we do in motherhood or entrepreneurship. It could be lonely. And I think, once you find your people, it makes it more fun and less lonely and people to talk about these fun business ventures with. So
Yeah.
if anybody's listening today, keep an eye out for the household handy mom over here. And where can our listeners support you?
Just my Instagram, sharing my business with any local mom who you think may need help or any moms who are looking for, part time work. Tell them to reach out.
Gina, thank you so much for being on here today.
Thank you so much.